Today is December the 9th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show that shares inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today is a very special show to me, and a very special show. I think everybody will, in the end, see exactly why it is that I'm saying this. We have not yet honored on air a junior service hero. I have been looking to do it, and we have some that, in truth, have really earned the title, yet have not been honored on air. Today, we are breaking that pattern. We are going to start honoring our junior service heroes also. And we have one that's a few days older than the junior service hero. Wink, wink. Let's just say it that way. We've got a mother-daughter duo that has an inspiring story and are truly service heroes in their own right. And not only that, they come from a lineage. They come from a generation family, a generational family. And we talk about generational patterns. And so many times we've been talking about it as though it is not necessarily a great thing. Well, I'd like to say that there are those families that have generational patterns that inspire. And Linda Duong and Jeslyn Lim come from one of those families. We are going to be talking about not only the two of them as service heroes, but also we will be honoring their family also. So I want to say welcome to the Service Hero Show, both of you.
Thank
Hi,
you. Hi.
Greetings from Sydney, Australia. The land where all the koalas are always eating and sleeping. It's the happiest place to be.
I love it. Koalas eating and sleeping.
Yeah, and it suits my quote. My quote is happiness is another form of wealth, the most treasured form of wealth.
I love it. I love it. And welcome, Jeslyn.
Thank you, Tamara. It's such an honor to be a junior service hero.
Well, good. I'm glad that you see this because we need more Jeslyns in this world. We honestly do. And we're going to be sharing today why I'm so deeply touched by not only Jeslyn, but Jeslyn's family, her mom, her dad, her brother, her grandparents, the whole story, everyone. I want to also recognize those that are here with us right now. We have our first ambassador of the chat. We have Helene Wilson, one of my buddies, and she is always welcoming our buddies that show up to the show. Welcome, Helene. I love you, Helene. Love you, love you.
Hello, Carol.
Carol is one of our producers of the show. She is our assistant producer and assists me every day with the show, and I appreciate her. She's welcoming us officially, and she is letting us know, yes, we are live on the E360 platform. Now, why is that important for everybody to understand, and why do I always get my phone out? It's because E360 TV is a web-based platform, and it streams throughout the world on our web system. It is on our Rokus and our Apple TVs, our Android TVs, our Apple TVs, and we can download the app or we can go to the website and we can watch the show live, and we can also watch it on demand. So if you're catching this in replay, you can watch this show and you can watch all the other inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So, and Jeslyn, you'll be able to share all of it with your friends. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome to all today. Thank you. Thank you. And Cinnamon, love you. Love you. Glad to have you here with us. You are so very welcome. All right. So No, we have one more. Good afternoon. Oh, I love it, love it. We communicate with each other, and which is very, very important. All right. Well, Linda, you and I were introduced to each other and immediately realized that we had so many things in common, and yet we came from very different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But it's our connection, it's our mutual heart of service that
Yeah.
connect us together so well. When we talk, it was like we knew each other forever, didn't we? It was like we knew each other for so long because we have so much in common, so much heart and connection, for all of those who we want to service. And it's just so beautiful. And I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that we're connected.
Oh, me too. Me too. And I will say this, that what I absolutely love about 2020, and people can say whatever they want about what's going on out there, I will say this: I believe that we have found an opportunity right now to focus in on creating relationships that typically, if we went to a meeting, I wouldn't necessarily get to meet you in the meeting. However, I get to meet
Exactly.
you through
Mm.
the internet and feel as though we're in the same room, because literally we are. We're in a quote unquote, streaming app room right now, right?
It is so true. Like if we were doing more in-person meeting, I would have been busy focusing in Sydney, right? I might still travel to America, but most likely on a daily life, it would more be in Sydney. Whereas now I'm connecting with you across the Atlantic Ocean, across the globe. I'm in Sydney,
Exactly.
you're in US. It's just so beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start talking. I'm going to bring up
Mm.
a few images
Yes.
because, first of all, I started visiting with you because you are a best-selling author and you wrote a book. And your book, you were sharing with me the very first time we spoke, is a beautiful book about happiness and your currency of happiness. And then you tell a story in it. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm so adopting her as my sister here. Because we have very similar stories with exceptional mothers
Yes.
that had experiences in their lives that they overcame unbelievable odds. And Jeslyn, your grandmother, what a legacy for you to know about your grandmother because of your mother writing the book and sharing this amazing woman's journey. Why don't we go a bit into that? Because I believe that's very important. And then we're going to go on with some more stuff that's going to be kind of fun.
Yes, that would be amazing. Yeah, so it's just really incredible. She didn't have a mother herself from the age of 8. She lost her own mother from the age of 8, and I could not imagine like losing my mother at the age of 8, how I would function. And yet she turned out to be this beautiful, amazing human being, amazing mother. And throughout her life, she was always helping other people, always contributing in whatever way she could, even when she didn't have enough herself. And then later on in her life, she would attend to the Buddhist temples in Sydney. She, together with the friends and the nuns and the monks, raised funds to physically bring back to Vietnam to donate to the orphanage and the people who had cataract but had no means to have operations. And they did that for years. Every year they do the same, and they physically travel back there so that every single dollar is spent well. And it's just really heart touching watching her growing up, witnessing how she carried her life. And my father was a healer. He did channeling for people who are into healing. He actually did channeling, and it's just really amazing witnessing that as well. So I was blessed to born into a family that, although we had minimal, very little, yet they were always giving, and always with a heart of service. And I wish I have mom's photo there now to honor her too. So she has inspired me to write a book. Now, initially, I wrote it for Jeslyn and her brother because they never got to meet her. And after the first draft, something happened. I heard of 3 deaths that I could not stop crying. And these are people I don't know of. The first person who almost achieved their dream, and suddenly she's gone. There's no advance notice whatsoever. I mean, the same day. And then the very next day, I saw this girl on internet, just beautiful looking model, looking at 15. Due to cyberbullying, she took her own life. And I just could not stop crying. And then the very next day, it was an 11-year-old boy. To this day, I still could not understand how anyone at the age of 11 could do that. And I just could not stop crying. So over the 3 consecutive days, it just hit me really, really deeply that I got this message that I just wish all these people had connected at that moment in time. I just wish these people found their happiness. And I just feel so selfish if I know something that I don't share, and that I only share it with my children. So then from there, as I rewrite, expand the chapters, I thought about mom didn't just have these 2 grandchildren. She had, my parents now have 24, even though she didn't meet some of them later. So I extended to all the grandkids, I extended to all my siblings, remembering our memory, because a lot of memory coming back. And then I extended to different groups of people as I write each chapters. I thought about the orphanage, and I'll be like, tissue, like, and then I'll think about the people who don't have, oh, sorry, I don't mean to call for tissue.
No, I was like, I'll give you one. It's like,
what I meant was at the time, as I was typing, I would be like, think of these people. And then I thought about the people who don't have parental love, because we talk about parenting. And so I would just like keep extending to different groups of people as I wrote it. And so that's why it's been helping a lot of people around the world. Yeah.
And what did you think about that, Jeslyn? Having your mom telling you the stories of your grandmother, because wasn't it that your grandmother and your grandfather and your mother came from Vietnam? And there's a significant story about that. How do you feel about hearing about a different country that your mother is from and that your grandparents are from, and the stories?
Yeah. So when I hear about their stories, I feel like so excited and proud that they're part of my family. And it's really just amazing to hear their stories.
And your grandmother, Linda, your mom, she was diagnosed with cancer in Vietnam.
Yes. So in her 50s, she was diagnosed with cancer. This is now, if I could bring everybody's thinking or teleport you back in Vietnam. So from where I came from, I did not know what a computer looked like. When I was growing up, I had never seen color photos or color TVs. So it's a really black and white world, so cool. Right? I never know what the outside world looked like. That's how it was for us. So medicine is minimal, that we're not as advanced as in the Western world with medicine and medications. So when she was diagnosed with cervical cancer, she was pretty much told, you only have 6 months to live. And of course, like anybody, she would go, oh no, I only have 6 months to live. She'd go through that traumatic experience, like, dealing with grief and I'm going to lose my life and all of those. But then very soon, I would say half of those time, which is like 3 months, she just realized that this is just not me, because we're from a shy family. She's really shy, but at the same time, she's really loving people. She really connect, and that's where I learned connection from, right? Obviously, she's constantly connecting with people. She's always smiling, always cheerful, bubbly. And then she's suddenly just realizing she's losing that aspect of her life. And then she just realized, if I'm going to go anyway, I might as well go as who I am. I was happy. I was always talking with people. Why am I suddenly being so miserable? So from there on, it's almost like this distinctive, decisive decision that she makes. And so now I teach my children, make a decisive decision. Don't just make a decision, it's got to be a decisive one. It was like this cut that she just cut off all the negative thinking, negative thoughts, and just so powerful, so empowered to move on and embrace whatever she has to face and just to go on with joy. That was what I learned from her, is that no matter what's happening, I am going to go on with my life, and I'm going to go on with joy, with who I am meant to be, with me, with the essence of me, whatever it was before. Back then we didn't have the vocabulary to express, to articulate, but it's all through her actions. It's all through her actions that I saw, that I learned, and then I'm still benefiting and sharing her joy. It's just incredible, just incredible. And from there, amazingly, because of that decision she made, I was blessed to have my mom for another 25 years. Would you believe that? It's just amazing how our mind can give us such enormous amount of power. Yes. Thank you, Helene. I love your message.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And that's where you and I, when we were sharing the stories, because my mother also was told that she had very little time to live, and she also knew that it wasn't her time. It's like, yeah, right. You think I'm going right now? That's not happening. I have too many things to do, and she ended up living for 34 more years.
Wow.
And 34 more years. And yes, there were some other situations to it, but I call all of it miracles, all of it the intention of the mindset, and all of it the complete belief that, hey, you know what? It's not my time. When it's my time, I'll go. And when it was her time, she did go. And she went peacefully.
Yes. Same as my mother. So since that time, she didn't have any recurrence of cancer at all. Only later on in her life that she did have a pacemaker, but she did go in peace in her bed. So yes, my pleasure, Carol. Thank you for your beautiful message. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, so then you get to move out of Vietnam because your mom's doing okay, and then you migrate to Australia.
Yes. So amazingly, how her mindset was able to help her heal herself, heal her body, that we were able to get through the approval, because if you didn't get the health check, who couldn't come? So then we came, and I came at the age of 15 without a word of English, not one word. And I would try to spell my Vietnamese name, M-A-I, and then in Australia, the pronunciation is really different. They say I, it's I. So they often wrote it M-A-R, and it's just really funny. So I didn't know a word of English. And growing up, I was constantly told, your English writing is terrible, your grammar's horrible. And so, that's what I had to, again, we're talking about breaking pattern of the mind. I broke that by writing the book. And now the book has been helping a lot of people around the world. So if anybody feel like you want to do anything, you want to do something, you can do it no matter what. Just make that decisive decision. Decide you can do it, and you can do it.
Okay, so Jeslyn, now I get it. Now I get you a little bit more. Hearing your mom talking about the decisive decision and teaching you and your brother that's the way she wants you to do things, and being able to make those, look at the situation, get the pros and cons, and make the decisive decision. You decided to make a decisive decision about at a very young age, didn't you?
I know, that one shocked me. I must say, that one shocked me.
So let's talk about that. You went to your mom at what age and told her what?
At the age of 6, I decided I wanted to grow out my hair and chop it up to donate to kids with medical conditions.
so to donate to the kids that don't, and I have to say I really like the way that this came out, because there you are with your hair ready to get cut off, in the braids and everything that they do. And there you are afterwards. And I love that face. Like, okay, I did it. I did it. So how old are you how old were you when you had the hair cut off? Because you started at 6. How long did it take you to grow it that long? Because that's long.
Yeah. So I'm 13 now. So that's 7 or 8 years. Yeah.
Wow. So you grow your hair, and I have a few more images. I mean, your hair was okay. Here we go. It went down to your knees.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
It went past her knees, and it's starting to touch the calf.
Oh,
And she shocked us by coming home one day in I don't know what you guys call it in US, but we call it in kindergarten, the first year at school.
Yeah, kindergarten. Yeah.
Kindergarten, right? She come home and said, Mom, can I grow my hair for the alopecia patient? I'm like, what is it? Explain to me. And so like she took time, like, for these children who had medical conditions. And so me being mom said, yes, if you could wash your own hair, you can grow it. So since that day, she washed her own hair, she braided her own hair, she does everything herself. And then all these years, she's trying to grow really long so that she can cut it, but still have long hair. But then 3 weeks before she did it, she just come and say, Mom, I'm going to shave it bald. And she gave us another decisive decision.
I love it. Say, well, Mom, you said I'm supposed to come to you with decisive decisions.
And
right?
the funniest thing is that her dad would constantly asking, like, are you sure? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. So that was a
I love it. I love it because here we have, I mean, when you look at that hair, and you had to take care of it, or the deal was off. No deal. And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, I'm thinking, is my arm long enough to do something like that?
I don't know how she does it. And my arm will get tired, even just with this. I feel like I get so tired with this. Like it's not even that long. But yeah, she I don't know, how do you do it? She would go like
Yeah.
and go all the way down.
I guess just from doing it, I got lots of arm strength, I guess. I guess I just managed somehow. If you want to do something, you'll find a way.
Exactly. You made that decision, a decisive decision. And so with that, you would find a way to follow through, because what your mother said was you had to take care of your hair. So, okay, I'm curious, did you wash it every day? I mean, what was your routine?
She did wash it every day until it come to her, past her, until before the knee, until past the bottom. Then she had to wash like every second day or so. But before that, she did wash it every day because she didn't want to get the tangle.
Right.
So she would wash it every day, and she would condition it so that it's.
What did they say to you? What did they say to you when you decided it was time and you wanted to donate it? What did the organization say to you, Jeslyn?
They were really excited and happy that I was donating my hair, and because lots of people just cut it off, but they don't shave their head, so they were really excited that I was shaving my hair because obviously you can donate more hair, and they're really happy because it can help more kids. Yeah.
And kids, one of the things I have found from working with some of my friends that work with the children that have cancer and they've had to go through treatment and they've lost their hair, that some kids, they have a harder time losing their hair than they have being sick. And is that what motivated you? What was it that motivated you in the very, very beginning to even start this?
Yeah, so when I was 6, I saw a child who didn't have hair, and that made me think, like, not everybody has hair, and that I was really lucky to have hair, and that I shouldn't take it for granted. And I was like, hey, if I can help, then that's great. So that's when I made that decisive decision to grow it out, and yeah.
You just bring my memory back, but I just still remember that one day she came home from school. Mom, can I grow my hair? I was like, your child don't ever ask you, can you grow your hair? Of course you can grow your hair. And then she tells me the story. I go, oh, okay. And so at the time, I still wasn't sure how long she was going to do it. I still wasn't, yeah. I wasn't sure how long she was going to do it, but each year she kept wanting to grow it longer. And before we know it, it was 8 years long.
Well, congratulations. And that's not the only service you do, right? I mean, I have a list here that I was given. Let's go through this. You work with a variety of different nonprofit groups, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
And why don't you tell us a little bit that? In fact, I hear you were just on a nonprofit expedition yesterday, even, right?
Yeah. So I started doing my charity work when I was 6 years old. So I made hearts out of Hama beads to sell, and I donated the money to the Starlight Children's Foundation. And we learned about them when my brother was in hospital from an allergic reaction to an insect bite, and he had chickenpox at the same time. So that means he had to be put in the cancer ward. And that's where we learnt about the Starlight Children's Foundation and how they help sick children. And we met Captain Starlight. And that's what inspired me to do charity work. But I was still too young then. I was nearly 4 years old. So when I was in year 1, that's when I decided I wanted to start doing my charity work. And then the following year, I raised $500. And the following year, I raised funds for the cerebral palsy, where I had to walk 10,000 steps a day for a month. And then I just kept alternating between the two charities. And then in 2016, I did paintings to sell with my brother, and we also did raffles. And that year, we raised around $2,600. And then, of course, this year, I did the hair chop, and that was for Variety Hair with Heart. And altogether, I've raised over $6,000 so far.
You are a rock star. Woo! In fact, okay, I know it's cheesy, but you'll see the humor in this.
A pink hand. There you go, pink.
There you go. Because we got to have fun, right? We got to have fun, and I love your attitude, Jeslyn, and Linda. You've got to be so incredibly proud, and this is a generational. I'm proud of you. Yeah, I know, Helene, right? I am too. We all are. You have a universal, global family now, Jeslyn, that is saying, "Well done, well done, well done." And so, I'm really honored. I'm honored to be sharing your story today. Thank you for allowing me to do so.
You're welcome.
You are
having us.
Yeah, absolutely. You are definitely a service hero. So we're going to continue. I have a video now I want to share. And it's a clip from when we were together, Linda, on the Tour of Love. And there was a song that was shared, and it was beautiful. And then you shared your thoughts right afterwards. And I'm going to share that. And then we're going to go in. And Jeslyn, we're going to have you also visit. And we're going to be talking about, again, the generational service and the amazing family that you come from, and then where you're going into next year. Okay,
and I
here we
will
go.
and I will answer the question on what we did yesterday after that.
Yes, absolutely. I do want to go into that. It's actually going to be, that was actually a bit of a teaser into next next segment. So yes, we're going to be talking about that too. Here we go.
Wonderful.
There was a man who lived to serve his sisters and his brothers. He headed up a food bank in service to others. He met each person where they were, learned the story of their life, and he helped them to the other side. Heaven's got a new angel. When I heard you were in the CCU, my heart fell to the floor. Thought it might be the last time we talked. You had one foot out the door. You asked if I should drop and run. You said I'd done enough, that you'd rather that I come home and be with Mom and help her with the hard stuff. Heaven's got a new angel, likes to dance. Heaven's got a new angel, it's making other angels laugh. Heaven has a new angel, the best one they ever had. Heaven's got a brand new angel, that angel is my dad. And he was quick with a joke when you needed a smile. Wasn't physical pain all the while. He fought until his body came to rest. When it comes to dance, I believe he was the best. It's time for letting go. Maybe hard, I know, to release someone so dear. Gotta keep my head clear. I'll miss being together, but I know we live forever. I believe he spoiled me right. Daddy's gone, but it's not what God's done. Heaven's got a new angel. Heaven's got a new angel. Heaven's got a new angel, best one they ever had. Heaven's got a brand new angel, that angel is my dad. That angel is my dad. That angel is my dad.
Wow.
That was just so beautiful. Thank you, Kim. That just reminded me to share that my dad was actually a healer. He has healed so many hundreds of people in his life in Vietnam. And after we came to Australia, people found out where he was. They still came. And he healed them until he had to reside in a nursing home. He was a channeler, and I watched him growing up, how he did it. Just really amazing. Just really, really amazing. And yeah, just perfect song. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Tamara, for that short memory of that talk. Yes, we miss him dearly. And so that's exactly what I mean. But I was going to share what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we went to a meditation retreat center up in the Blue Mountain. If you've been to Sydney, you know the famous Blue Mountain, the Three Sisters at Katoomba. And so I was signing books there, and every book sale, we donate $10 of the book sales to the center. And so on the day of his funeral, the message I got was, the best thing to do is to do more good deeds. Because the day after he left, I just wasn't sure how long it's going to get me back to work. I thought I was going to have months off, because friends who have seen my post would know I call him my amazing hero dad, and he really is. So because when my mom passed away suddenly, I wasn't going to be able to go on. So I miss mom so dearly. And at the time, my dad's already in his 80s, and he led the way. He could have said it so easily. He could have said, I'm done, right? He could have said that easily, but he led the way. He led the way for all of us to eventually, he led the way to go on with peace, and to show us eventually to find our own inner joy as well, but still connected to mom. It's just so amazing and beautiful. So when he's gone as well this time, I know it's going to sound funny, but at the age of 50, because mom keep helping the orphanage people, right? And I thought of them too when I write a book, but I never in my life thought that, hold on, I'm now an orphan too. It just dawned on me, like at the age of 50, really, it doesn't matter how old you are. When you lose your parents, it's still as painful. And so it just dawned on me, I am now an orphan too. And so the day after he left, I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. My legs were numb. My body felt paralyzed. But he gave me this beautiful message at the funeral. I received the message that the best thing to do is to do more good deeds. So I could just lay there and not get up, right? I could just easily say, I'm done. No more 3 hats, no more work, no more anything. I'm done. My mom's gone, my hero is gone. And I could just say, I'm done. And it would be so easy. It's actually easier to just give up. So he's just amazing that, he's a healer, and he's still giving me this sense of healing for myself and for me to now share with everybody, so that we all can go through the healing together. The best thing to do is to do more good deeds. And that's how I'm using my energy, and my decisive intention now is to show up more, to do more good deeds. And the reason why I feel invited to share openly, because us, we're very shy by nature, and we're quite private people, but somehow I'm on this journey now that I'm sharing with everybody, all for the goodness of sharing more love, more connection, more joy, more positivity, and ultimately happiness. But the reason why I feel encouraged to share is because 2020, we all gone through so much grief. We all have. So it's really an opportunity for us to say it's okay to grieve. While I promote positivity, happiness, but positivity and happiness isn't all about la, 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 right? If we just do that, it's not all true power to move on. It is how do we really honor what we're going through so that we can move on more powerfully. That sense of inner empowerment kind of positivity is what I'm talking about. So in the book, I do share what true happiness is. You know, there's the internal layers and the external layers, and now it's time to work on the internal layers, because we all go through so much grief of losing someone, grief of losing the job, the business, your pet, your environment, your way of life, everything. And so it's just really a message that I get that, you know, we need to pause for a moment to actually acknowledge the loss that we're going through. It is okay to acknowledge the grief, the loss, so that we can move on with more presence, more connectedness, with more love and more true inner joy and inner peace. So then in that way, we can move on more powerfully.
Jeslyn, I'd like to hear from you also in regards to, here you are, the next generation in your family of an amazing family. You have been gifted in your life such an amazing legacy, and your mother, and I'm sure your father combined, and then your grandfather have been teaching you, and you can see it because look at who you are and what you do. What is it that you take from this period of time and going through this experience, and what you're learning in your grandfather, what I call earning his wings? What is it that you would like to share?
Yeah. So I've really learned, like, we're always changing, right? So I've learned to be really flexible and, you know, to just do good in life, which is what we were meant for.
Excellent. Couldn't say that better than myself. Do good in life. And so going forward, and you know, we have here, I want to bring up, you have a lot that you do, and I would just shared the 3 hearts. I'm going to bring those back up. You've got the 3 hearts behind you. You've got the 3 hearts beautiful there. You went over to the campus and did a presentation, and here they were, gorgeous. Why don't we talk about that going forward, going into next year? What does this mean? Because you are creating a movement. You're very much out there. We're very much in alignment with all of it. I love, love, love what you're doing. Why don't we talk about it?
Sure. Thank you for inviting me to share. So 3 hearts is the underlining message of my book. Heart number 1 is love and connection for ourselves. And heart number 2 is love and connection with each other. And heart number 3 is love and connection for the universe. It's just really simple core message that I like to share. When you have all of these 3 hearts, you are pretty much a happy person, is my message. So when we have love and connection for ourselves, it's just so much more empowered. That so many people go through life, you know, I'm too much of this, I'm not enough of that, I'm not enough of this. Like this not enoughness. It's just not enough love for ourselves. So my message is to invite everybody to honor yourself more, you know, love yourself more, and having this connection to yourself is very, very important, because I meet so many people. I mean, we all go through it. I go through it. That's why I discovered this on my journey, right? We all get lost somewhere along the line. But if we have more a sense of self-connection, it will help us to deal with things regardless whatever's happening.
Yeah.
It's like with whatever's happening with us, you know, we losing our beloved dad and grandpa. Our kids call him Gong Gong, you know.
What is it? Gong Gong?
Gong Gong. Gong Gong is Cantonese. Gong Gong is another dialect. It's meant
Right.
Gong Gong.
Okay, Cantonese. Yeah. Okay. All right.
if we weren't staying connected, it would be really difficult. It would be really, really difficult to go through this. You would either go through denial or angry or a lot of negative emotions. But because we are very much connected, even though we're going through grief isn't all negative. Grief is just a stage that we're going through. But because we're staying connected, it really helps us moving through, as sad as it is, still powerfully and beautifully, and giving us a sense of strength and energy to still continue to do more good. And so being connected is so just the fundamental self-connection. And having, and that encompasses self-care, self-compassion, and then move on to each other. Because when you have love and connection for yourself, it's easier to have love and connection for others. And then to extend to the universe, that includes your environment, the animals, everything else, and the courses, that we're doing, like how your big love for all of these, the service hero and the cancer community is just amazing. We want to thank you, for doing that as well, Tamara. You're amazing.
Thank you. Well, thank you. In fact, I'm going to bring up a short clip right now about our cb4l.org community and how it is in total alignment. And Jeslyn, I want you to see this because you would be considered one of our buddies. Here you go.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for Life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for Life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Now you see what I was talking about. Oh, thank you.
Congratulations. Yes, so with
Thank
Heart,
you.
it's very, very aligned with what you do. We also have a free membership platform that people come and join the meeting. And at the meeting is where we play games to connect with each other. So Three Hearts is an innovative way. It is an innovative way of addressing mental health. Not mental illness, but mental health. So we want to look after the health. It's a preventative measure where we're trying to help you flourish in your heart, mind, and body before it goes down to the mental illness problem. Meaning, like before you get burnout, before you become isolated, and lead down to depression. So it's a preventative measure. So we come together to share love, to share connection, to share joy and positivity, to boost ourselves, to boost our immune system, to boost our joy, to boost our positivity. Now, having said that, it's all fun games, but we do share tears as well. We share our highs, our lows, our challenges. It's all real authentic connections. It's all real dialogues and conversations. And at these meetings, although we never talk about work, we only introduce ourselves in one line. But the amazing thing is work happens all behind the scene because the authentic connection was established. Because we all know that we want to work with people who we like, trust, and support. And when we're there, we naturally know each other's courses. So if you come and you share what you do, people go, oh, wow, amazing, Tamara, right? And somebody shares what they do. But then we never talk about work because it's not a networking event. Oh, thank you. Yes, the 3 hearts cups. Yeah. Oops, which way? This way. So it's not for business networking, but business happen as a byproduct of our authentic connections. And so it's beautiful. And we have ambassadors around the world to help us expand, invite friends, and host the meetings. Yay.
I love it. I love it. We do something like that too within our closed group. We have game night on Sunday nights, and we do Wheel of Fortune or Tic Tac Toe, or we do, like Pictionary or stuff like this, and match game, and just fun, and what it is. And I love the fact that you're doing this, and we need more and more and more and more people doing this, more people showing up, because if we can do this together and sharing the love and sharing the laughter, like we say, humor, hope, heart hugs, and a whole lot of love, when you can have that being shared on a variety of different planes, from a variety of different people, then it's going to attract the person that's going to resonate with that particular group. And we can start having our cellular levels, yes, be healthier. We can have better relationships. We can have better trust for those that we're doing business with. And what a decisive decision you made in having 3 hearts. And I love it. I love it.
Yes. And it's too often that we wait for a problem to happen before we fix. And by then it's too late, because fixing takes longer time and more pain and more stress. So what I like to do is we trying to keep you maintained and help you flourish. And as ambassadors, there's so many amazing benefits that you don't even know. And I never mention it, and we don't advertise, because we don't want people coming just for that. We want people to come in for the goodness of 3 hearts, meaning you want to be there to just connect with people, and everything else happen. Everything else happened. Ambassadors have grown their confidence, being a better speaker, all of them. I would mention it. I'm starting, so I better not.
I love it. I love it.
Self-leadership, everything else, or time management, organization skills, connection, people skills, all of it. Now, none of the ambassadors have me list any of these before they come on. So I want to take a moment to honor all my 3 hearts ambassadors. I want to thank you and congratulate you all for coming in for the pureness of service. You're all service heroes too. So yes, it's amazing. And this is why two of us are so aligned. And this is why when we talk, it's like we knew each other forever, Tamara. I could see in future where we will work together so that we can grow both organizations more powerfully. And that would be beautiful. Yes.
Absolutely. So, Jeslyn, what grade are you in?
I'm grade 7.
Grade 7. So this next year you'll be going into 8. What do you see for yourself in this next year?
Well, 2020 has been such a year, so I never know what next is going to be like. But more charity work and more doing good deeds, and yeah.
And don't you like gymnastics, I'm hearing?
Yeah, I do. I love doing gymnastics, and I also do choir, and I play the violin.
Oh, why don't you share your highlight of the choir?
Oh, I got into a new. So in my choir, you have to audition, and I got into the next level. So.
And this level,
so proud of you.
This level, she get to travel with them to perform.
What do you sing? What part?
Well, we're still like in our choir. They like to give us different parts just so we're like well-rounded.
So you're learning all the different ranges and everything right now. Awesome. Well, congratulations. That is, I can't wait to find out more about our junior service hero and how you're doing next year. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, good. All right, so as we start to close, what would you like to leave, if you could, okay, Helena's saying, well, we'll have her back on. We'll have her back on, and you can like that. We'll
Thank
give
you,
her a break
Eileen.
right now, and next time we'll get something, and maybe you can prepare something for us, and we can have a video or something that can be shared, and then you can talk about it. So, what would you like to leave everybody with? We've got about a minute. And so what would you like to share?
I would like to share with everybody to always be kind and help others, because you never know what somebody else is going through or what challenges they're facing and what's happening to them. So always be kind and to just be kind and do good deeds and help wherever you can.
I love it. And Linda, we have only moments, but what would you like to say?
Oh, I will echo the same thing, that the message I got on my father's funeral day is the best thing to do is do more good deeds. That message just came so clearly to me on that day. And so that's what we're going to draw strength on. So, and that's what we want to share with everybody. And
Well,
thank you for having us on the show.
Well, you definitely are service heroes. And I want to recognize the fact that this is a day that is, in my mind, a real big day. I'm truly inspired, and that we were able to share an inspiring story of generational service. And we were able to honor your parents, Linda, and your grandparents, Jeslyn. And then we were able to honor both of you and what it is that you're doing for so many. And in doing so, I know myself, I have been renewed in my faith in our younger generation and in generational patterns. And so thank you so very much for sharing the love. Thank you so very much for inspiring us all. And thank you for being the service heroes that you are.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so Friday we'll be back with our next service hero, and you guys want to be here. You're going to learn a lot too, and she's a lot of fun. See you on Friday. Bye, everyone.